Welcome to the University of Maine System tutorial on subject searching in Ursus. Instinctually, we may think that subject searching is the best way to start rather than the keyword search. The following explains why this isn't always the case. Let's go ahead and start with subject search using Witches of Salem as our topic. In this case, if we start with subject search, we get 0 hits. Now let's change this search to keyword search. Let's look at the record Witches of Salem to see why it didn't come up with our subject search. The subject heading for this title is Witchcraft, Massachusetts, Salem. In order to retrieve this record by subject, we would have needed to know to use at the very minimum the terms Witchcraft, Massachusetts. Even if we were to have changed our search to Witchcraft and Salem rather than Witches, we would still have received 0 results. Yet even with 0 results, we are finding multiple subject headings with the word witchcraft. Let's look at the Witches of Salem record again. Once in a record you like, you can fine-tune your search by clicking on the subject heading for that record. The result is a list of similar subject headings surrounding the one we clicked on, as well as a column called Entries that shows you how many records have the same subject heading. In this case, there are 49. When we click on the subject heading again, it takes us to the 49 records. If you want to see the most recent first, you can click on the Sort window that defaults to the system sorted. Let's look at A Delusion of Satan. When we look at the subject area of this record, not only is the subject heading we were using in it, but we discover there is an additional subject heading related specifically to trials. When we click on the Trials link, we see a new listing of subjects dealing with trials. When looking further down, you can see that the subjects become more specific. If we click on the previous page, there are even more subjects. Remember though, multiple subjects can be in one record. It is good to pay attention to the number of entries per subject. You can even recreate your search as a keyword search, using the new word trials and witchcraft if you want to expand your search in a different way. In this case, the problem with keyword search is you will get everything, fiction and nonfiction that has those 2 words in the record. Therefore, the search is not as precise. Let's take a look at the 2011 edition of Daughters of Witching Hill. Notice the subject headings have the word fiction in them. However, there is a chance you will find one or more additional titles that are appropriate for your needs, and who knows, you may even want to read a fictional account of the subject. Finally, remember to get in touch with your library staff if you ever need help.